Welcome everyone. It is November the 22nd, 2023, and we're still working within the Halion chakra. We've studied about the sixth dimension and Saint Bernadette and Prudence, and now we're on to the Buddha with the law of attachment and detachment. So we're going to share the screen here, and we'll get right into it. So there's the title page. There's the Buddha right there. There's lots of depictions of the Buddha and Saint Bernadette and the Mother and SK and Albert. We're surrounded with help here. So this is the Halion chakra that we've been studying. It's blues and pinks and mauves and some turquoise and violet shot through with mint green. And it's connected to the sixth dimension. And this is a place where we release the need to know and the need to be in control. So we're letting that all go and coming into the now, which is the green energy, into the compassion, the non-judgment of everything, into love, into the higher realms and how things operate. So this dimension is a pretty exciting one because it can be quite chaotic, but from chaos comes change. And this is this little diagram that I made. It's actually quite helpful. I've been playing around with it because I wanted to get the feminine and the masculine energy in balance here. So the Divine Mother, mom, caregivers with the mother side of the family and then the father side, and then balancing it with the self and with work and play. So it's just a nice one to see how things line up, and with prudence, with moderation, which is love, balance, which is our gratitude for everything, and with temperance. And temperance, she explained, is the release of all addiction to pain, with apologies and forgiveness to self, remembering to bring it back to the self always, because basically the universe is a series of mirrors, and the Buddha goes into that too. So we will study that with him. So this is Albert, a little bit of a review about the sixth. It's his favorite. He says we're in the process of experiencing the growth opportunities of the sixth dimension. When we say chaos, we speak in terms of creative chaos. For in every chaotic situation, there is an opportunity for growth. The biggest opportunity for growth of the sixth dimension is understanding that we are not in control. It brings with it the growth of the qualities of surrender, trust, fortitude, and hope. And hope is all, we haven't studied hope yet, but that's all about the stillness, which the Buddha talks about, being the observer in the law of attachment and detachment. So it makes sense that hope is connected to this chakra. And it is the ability to acknowledge that seemingly random chaos has a divine patterning, brings forth a profound appreciation of the gift of the unknown. So when we let go all need to control or need to know, then we step into the unknown and just know it's a beautiful gift just to let it unfold. Let our mission and purposes unfold and the days unfold. Okay, so this is a practice that I've taken to, it's just a way to pause during the day and send energy out to the world. So you just take a few minutes and put your hands on your heart, usually cross them over, and just practice sending joy to everyone with no judgment, so that it goes out to all. So that's basically gratitude, which Lao Tzu talked about in humility, us being in gratitude for each other. That brings us into the unity consciousness. And you can even just say a gentle hello out to the world, out to the collective. Just remind them that we're all here for ascension. So it's feeling the love, expanding out, and especially for the ones that we find hard to love. So that's connected to purity as well. bringing them into our hearts, feel them in our hearts, hold them in our hearts until we can really feel the love flowing for them. So it's just a great practice to get into the compassion for everyone. And we can do this with before we eat food or drink water. The Mother and Bernadette are really wonderful beings to call on before drinking any water or working with water. And it's the little things that turn into the tsunami of love. So if we're all doing these little things, it just shifts. It can shift the entire planet. So, and it's super important to stay grounded because it's very chaotic out there. So just dropping your root cord down to Gaia, like several times a day, can be very, very helpful. And understanding the flow of gratitude between Gaia and ourselves. So just know there's this beautiful gratitude that goes back and forth between us, and then you can extend that out to the world as well. It's just, it's a nice way to be. And I just read also today that there's been a massive oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, like 1 million gallons. So to send energy to that, because Gaia really doesn't like that when that happens. Okay, so now we're on to the universal law of attachment and detachment with the Buddha. And this is the meditation. So I'm just going to read it. It's about 3 slides or 4. So just relax and just, I will read it. So let's begin today by taking a nice deep breath of that glorious magenta, the magenta of our Buddha. Feel that energy come into you and breathe that color of wine. Feel the week ahead and the week behind slip away, and feel yourself gaining some weight as you sink into your chair, your bed, your office chair, your car seat, the floor, wherever you are, and breathe magenta, that perfect balance of blue, and it's the blue of the Mother, and the red, the vitality of Gaia. Feel the lotus blossom on your head open, and the lotus blossom on your forehead, your third eye, which is magenta, open. And as you are breathing this wonderful magenta, feel this energy seeping down into your heart. All of us, sisters and brothers of Gaia, the stars of the distant universes, of the angels and archangels and mastery realms, we all live in our hearts, not to the exclusion of our brilliant minds or our wonderful bodies, but this is our anchor. So feel the energy into your heart, pull up from Gaia, pull up from our Mother Earth, and feel that rich vitality, that life force that all of us during this time of such massive transition can use and breathe. Now towards the center of your heart, I want you to see that pinprick of white light, that portal, that wonderful portal. And although it's tiny, you know it is the portal you can fly through as your true angelic self, as your fairy self, as your butterfly self, into the inner golden chambers of your heart. Come with me and feel yourself flying through that pinprick of white light into the golden inner chambers of your blessed heart. And as you do, you see these wonderful burnished golden walls, and the walls are covered with words. Some you recognize, some are in ancient Sanskrit, some are like hieroglyphics. There are some symbols, maybe it's a triangle or an ankh, a spiral. This is where you have stored the information about your sacred purpose and about your intentions for this life. And it is beautiful, warm, and you feel yourself cocooned in that golden warmth with a beautiful shawl of the Buddha's magenta. You find your cushion or your chair and you sit down, because like your temple and sacred space, this is one of your places, one of your sacred places to come, to reflect, to create, and to understand. So relax on your cushion or your chair, surrounded by this information about the uniqueness and the beauty of who you are, and breathe. I want you to feel what you have been wishing for. What is that creation that perhaps you never dared even look at or contemplate? The one that you kept tucked in the corner of your heart, because if it didn't come to pass, you didn't think you could bear it. So in many ways, it has just been safer for you in your wisdom to just keep it tucked away. It's time to bring it out and to look at it and to love it. Maybe it's your ascension or a perfect relationship, financial abundance, perfect health, a happy family, fully embodying your mission and purpose. It can be anything, but it's yours. So take a minute and feel with your heart. What is that thing that you tucked away? And bring it out and cup it in your hands as you sit in your golden chamber and really look at it. Part of creation is intention, and it's having the courage to really look at what you want and to fill in all those gaps. Now, what I'd ask you to do is to take that creation and attach to it. So feel with both your hands that you're bringing it back as if they are magnetized back into your heart. The sensation is magnets and almost a click. Bring it back into your heart, admitting to yourself and admitting to the universe, declaring to the universe that this is something that you wish to declare throughout everywhere, and especially to our beloved Buddha. Feel it, feel that desire and the knowingness of the rightness of this creation and your worthiness to have it no matter what it is. Now, the difficulty is that when we hold this so tight, there's no room to move. It's another way that you have tucked it away in your heart again. So what we're going to do is surrender it, and we are going to surrender it to the Buddha and to the universe. But first, we are going to go to still point, so that the masters, the angels, the archangels, our guides can add their elements and their energy so that this can begin to simmer and collect the energy it needs to come into form. Feel your breathing slowing, staying in your heart, just the way when you're falling asleep, and your breathing becomes deeper and deeper. Now, as we're doing this, I want you to feel that creation to which you are attached, the sensation of letting it go, and drop it to the bottom of your Valentine heart, to the point where your heart chakra and your solar plexus chakra just touch, down to the seat of your soul. How we're going to detach is by breathing it out, dropping it into our solar plexus and out into the universe so that it can assume form. Feel this sense with me as this movement is taking place, that you are letting go, that you're not trying to control everything in terms of how your creation manifests and comes to you. The feeling is after you've had a really good cry and you're cried out and you feel peaceful. Now bring it down. Now let's hold this at still point. Very little breath or no breath at all. Don't worry, your body knows when it has to breathe. And with me on the count of 3, we detach by pushing it out of our solar plexus out into the universe. 1, 2, 3, push. And surrender, let it go. Now come back up into your heart, into that perfect golden chamber again, and feel the imprint and the knowing of that wonderful creation that you have just released to the universe. from a place of surrender. Attach to it in ways that you are saying are for the highest good, not only of you, but of everyone concerned, of Gaia and humanity, and let it be. Not tucking it away again, but allowing it. Okay. So that meditation is on my website. I keep posting the audio for the law of attachment and detachment. And you can see the timing for it. You can go right to the meditation. It's actually a really good one to do over and over. Okay. So so in the allowing of it, I'm bringing back Bernadette a little bit here, because up will come as we birth out these beautiful creations. Up will come what's not working. So, and I think this is why we've been taught prudence here, is as Bernadette says, very often we have a tendency to fly into the old way, which is blame of self. And we take responsibility for something that we have done or not done, and we go on and on, not necessarily to whoever you have offended or mistreated, but to ourselves. So just know that, like, when you create, the old stuff is going to come up to the surface. So she recommends that prudence is to acknowledge where we've gone awry, to look at it, to do the repair work that's necessary, including especially letting it go and apologize, bringing the apology back to self, and then sending it out to the universe and to whomever we've harmed, and then to proceed. So it's not to dwell on it day after day after day. I made a mistake, I can never go on. Just do the repair work quickly, and then it doesn't affect us. So we can do the healing of self very quickly with these understandings that Bernadette gave us. And also remember to stay grounded. So if you're feeling like something's coming up and it's going to be, difficult, ground yourself to Gaia and get yourself into that space of gratitude with her. And just know she's a mighty transmuter. You can work the energy, let it go with her, and it makes it go much quicker. So just know the orange is courage here. So prudence has a lot of orange in it, that high heart energy. And it's just acknowledging where we've gone awry, to look at it, do whatever repair work is necessary, especially letting it go, apologizing to self, bring the apology back to self, because it's never really out there. And the Buddha goes into this. The universe is a series of mirrors. And usually if we're triggered by something out there, it's connected to us. It's nothing to do with out there. Okay. So, and this is that list that the Buddha had in there: ascension, perfect relationship, financial abundance, perfect health, a happy family, fully embodying mission and purpose. So if you're doing that meditation again, just know the creation probably will be something to do with one of these or all of them. So, and then just remember to be grounded and connected. So you've got your truth cord that goes to source, and you've got your root cord that goes to Gaia. And remember that prudence is an amazing divine quality to remember about. Okay, so then the Buddha says, I am the Buddha. Susie says, welcome to you. I come to you as wayfarer. And yes, as always, I ask you to sit with me underneath the Bodhi tree, for what better place is there to observe? So in your imagination, in the heart space, you can imagine a tree and sitting under it with the Buddha. It is a really beautiful practice to do. Sit with me underneath the Bodhi tree, for what better place is there to observe the coming of miracles, the fulfillment of creation, the unfoldment of the plan, and the unfoldment of your plan. We have taught you how important it is, might I say essential, to know your sacred purpose, to know your mission and purpose, and your intention of how you wish to fulfill this in this incarnation, which is, of course, one of many, but it is a continuity, is it not? Yes, there is a time for action and there is a time for stillness, but most of you have the greatest amount of difficulty with the stillness. And this is why I ask you to sit with me as observer in detachment under the tree. So I remember when I was really struggling with something, and Archangel Gabriel, I had a reading with Archangel Gabriel, and she said to stand back and just watch the universe go by. And this is what it reminds me of, doing this with the Buddha, just to stand back. If something's very confusing that you just can't figure out, the best thing to do is sit still and watch. So this is, I think this is what the Buddha is saying. To become the master observer. Okay, so this, he did say here that to know our sacred purpose, know our mission and purpose. So a very quick way to, if we're still a little bit not sure, just invoke it. Invoke the law of sacred purpose, because what SK says, it's for our freedom. So humbly and joyfully in thanksgiving, and I always say, remember the forgiving and awe. I invoke the law, going to that place within my heart, formulating the intent that I'm living in alignment, in perfect alignment with the universal law of purpose. It is my freedom ticket. It always has been. So going to that place within my heart, the stillness in this golden chamber and behind, or sitting under the Bodhi tree with the Buddha, you can just invoke the law of sacred purpose, and that will help with clarity. Okay. Yes, Darren.
So is he saying there that if you follow your law of purpose, that will be your freedom from this dimension?
Well, what we're doing with the third dimension is cleaning it up of the belief systems. So it's freedom from the belief systems that bar us from our purpose, basically. And yeah, I mean, the old belief systems create havoc. So we really want to eliminate them, to be free from them. Does that make sense?
Okay, so how does that tie in with your law of purpose?
Well, what was the question that you asked? That
well,
a dimension?
Yeah, I was saying, if you follow the law of purpose, is that your ticket to freedom from this dimension, is my original question now.
Okay, well, we're not going anywhere from the third. We're just cleaning it up. So it's creating freedom within the third dimension, yes, and access to all the dimensions.
Okay, what is ascension then if you're not leaving this dimension?
It is the access of the 12 dimensions. We've been barred from the higher dimensions and the lower dimensions with our lack of self-love and lack of self-worth. So with all the understandings of all the dimensions, that's evolvement of our souls.
Okay.
Did you want to add to that, Steve? Oh, you're on mute.
Thank you. What you're asking is kind of a bind, Darren, because you're talking about sacred purpose, which is particularly important to a servant, to somebody who's serving. Looks like you're done talking, so we'll lower your hand in 2 seconds. I don't know what that means, but and servants aren't typically focused on enlightenment. They put that thought and desire aside in order to focus on others. Let's put it that way, somebody else whom they're serving, right? So if we serve our sacred purpose, will it lead to our enlightenment? Yes, it will, but at the end of the service, not like,
Well,
say, the Buddha, who reached enlightenment, what, at age 30 or something like that?
so are you saying everybody doesn't have a sacred purpose?
No, everybody does.
But that sacred purpose could be to be a love holder, at which point enlightenment becomes very relevant to that person's sacred purpose.
Right.
So it depends on the sacred purpose, really, whether that will lead to enlightenment, say, in this lifetime or after, or what. But the overall purpose of life is to be enlightened, is to realize who we are, which gives God a chance to experience God.
I think it's all I feel like it's all connected. Like if we're invoking our sacred purpose, we're invoking basically what did we promise the mother? What did we promise the mother before we came? And the lack of balance on this planet has been an issue. And we've come to help with the balancing here of all the systems, especially beginning with ourself. Because the more we are in balance, then it naturally flows out of us into whatever we're doing. Yeah. But a purpose keeps unfolding. If you talk to Archangel Michael, he'll say his sacred purpose is still unfolding. He said that to us. Yeah. So I mean, it's something. It's so exciting. Like when you start tapping into it, you realize, oh my gosh, it can go on forever. It just keeps unfolding.
So are you ever free then?
Oh my gosh. Yes. You feel so free once you tap into being in gratitude every day. Oh my goodness. It's so freeing. Yeah. And more and more in alignment with the laws, understanding the blessings and virtues and how simple they are to release all these old belief systems. Yeah, that's freedom. Yeah. Okay. So the Buddha says we simply watch, and when you sit and you watch, not in any form of judgment, not even really in discernment, but simply as the observer, you learn a great deal. And it is a great deal about humanity, about the universe, and about yourself. So we do not sit under the Bodhi tree together and watch people pass by and say, well, that one's robe is too tight, or the sash is tied wrong, or where did he buy those sandals? Where does she think she's going in such a hurry? Nope, we simply sit, and in our energy, we bless every being, each being that passes by. So he's teaching us non-judgment of everyone, and just to sit still and watch. And so one of my questions was, well, how do you know when you should be just watching or when you should be in action and doing? And the answer came that our guides help us with that. And we also get better and better at understanding prudence, which is knowing when to step into situations and when to step back. And that's refined balance. So the Buddha right now is just teaching us to stand back and bless everything. And in that blessing of everything, the faster everyone can come into alignment, because we're not sending out the old systems into the collective. Okay. And also our ability to bless everything, it stems from self-love and self-worth. So we've just been learning that with Saint Bernadette with the high heart chakra and the Halion. So these are the chakras right above and below the heart space. So the Buddha says there is a time for action and there is a time for stillness. but most of you have the greatest amount of difficulty with the stillness. This is why I ask you to sit with me as observer in detachment under the tree. So we have learned to fly through the pinprick of light in the heart chakra and sit in the golden temple in behind the heart. That's a place of stillness. The Buddha's asking us to sit under the tree with him. So it's like there's lots of ways to practice this. And yeah, just understanding the courage it takes to stand back and not make any comments. This is connected to prudence, and it does take a lot of courage to know, because what happens when you sit in the stillness, up will come stuff and to be addressed. And then when you understand prudence, you can quickly just come to, oh, that's me. I need to apologize to myself. I need to apologize to another. I need to apologize to the universe, because you'll start to see that everything comes back to the self. So, and it's connected to us having the worthiness to, and the love of self to do the work with the self. Prudence is amazing. I'm really like, I'm really like so glad that we went deeper into prudence. Okay. Yes, Steve. Yeah, the Halion is in the heart. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so when we're doing this work with this pinprick of light, this is in the heart chakra. It's not, well, that's the way that it's explained with SK and everyone. Yeah, it's in the middle. Sometimes he says it's at the bottom, but sometimes he says it's in the middle. But he's talking, the way they explain it is through the heart chakra. Not, and you're saying it's the actual heart. Is that what you're saying? Okay, so the heart is off to the left. Is that correct?
Right. 2 digits to the right of the breastbone. I don't know if you can see me.
Yeah, okay. But the actual heart organ is on the left.
Okay, so there's the heart organ.
Yeah.
Heart chakra.
Yeah, right in the middle.
And 2 digits to the right of that is the spiritual heart.
Yeah.
That has the Halion, the aperture, which opens and allows the tsunami of love to flow.
Okay. Well, I think this portal that they talk about in the heart chakra may be something slightly different, because it's a portal to fly into the inner chamber behind the heart. So I'm not really sure what this inner chamber is, but they call it one of our temples.
I've been inside the heart, and it's not gold, it's red, and I never saw any writing.
Okay, so this is something completely different that they're talking about. And it is a portal to go into this golden chamber in behind. They are asking us to remember our self-worth, I believe. Yeah. So it's done in imagination, and it is a really beautiful place to sit. Yeah. Darren.
So is this chamber in the heart chakra, or is it something different?
It's behind
the heart chakra?
Yes, because you fly through, and this is the meditation we've been doing over and over for each of these laws. You fly through this pinprick of light, and it's in the back there. It's in behind. Yeah. It's and then they say to feel like an angel, a butterfly, a fairy, and fly through, and they call it a portal. It's a pinprick of light, it's a portal, and it's I believe it's another tool to help us remember who we truly are and how worthy we are, because it's very, very golden. So it's connected to gratitude, it's connected to joy. And it's just reminding us again, this is who we are. And it's a beautiful place to sit. Okay. So, and the Buddha goes on, now, what do I mean by this? I mean that you bless each person, not simply with compassion, but with the love of your heart. You do not attach to either their vision or your vision or theirs. This is a very important understanding for humanity that has an infamous tendency to get caught up in the drama of both their own lives and certainly of others as well. So I think we were told by, I can't remember, oh, it was the Divine Mother telling us not to take sides. That she said if we were plopped down in the middle of Egypt, we wouldn't know which side to take if there was a war happening. And it's the same with the self, because generally if you're taking sides in ourself, it's connected to what we've witnessed as kids, mom and dad fighting, brother and sister fighting. Like it just is connected to war. It's connected to being right. And this is the letting go of all control. So this is why the Buddha says, stand back and just be the observer and don't take sides within the self or without as well. That, yes, Darren.
But you would send love from your heart, though.
Yeah, that's not taking sides. Yeah,
Right,
because you're sending it to everyone.
right.
Love goes to everyone without judgment.
Right.
That is why it is so critical at this juncture that you truly learn to be the observer, because when you are fully anchored as the observer, you are in detachment. You're simply watching. And when I use the word watching, I certainly do not mean with your eyes or even your etheric eyes, I mean with your heart. So it is not that you're simply watching and gathering information. You are truly observing and seeing into a person's heart, their mind, their soul, their frequency, their struggles, their joys, and you are loving them. This is one of the first steps of unity consciousness, and it is a critical step in your journey. So Lao Tzu talked about this with humility, how the more we are in gratitude for each other, that brings us into the unity consciousness. Now the Buddha is saying loving everyone brings us into the unity consciousness. I do know that when I'm doing readings, you're in such a zone, there is no judgment of anyone. You're just loving them, loving them, loving them, loving them. So it's a beautiful practice to get into all the time. Yeah, so and just practicing, you can practice it, sending it out every day, just stopping occasionally. If you find yourself falling into judgment, stop and put your hands over your heart and bring them into your heart, no matter who it is, and hold them until you can really feel the love flowing for them. And that's what shifts the planet. Because as soon as we're holding judgment around anyone, that's throwing us back into the old system. So this practice of stopping and putting your hands over your heart it's amazing, because it just shifts you in the minute. And then you're literally not holding any judgment for yourself. Because if you're judging another, it's actually you're judging yourself. That's how it works. It doesn't work the other way around. Okay, so now he goes on. Let me just see how much time we have. Yeah, we've got another 6 minutes. Now, I wish to make an aside, and it will be something that I rarely speak of. Many of you, my beloved family, have great desire to meet, to embrace, and to be with your star brothers and sisters. Of course, for many of you, it is because it tugs at your heart, and for some of you, it is what you are creating. But let us look at this. Part of you wishes to be in the company of your star brothers or sisters, or for that matter, the ascended masters, the archangels. Of course, the first primary motivation is because of love and of longing, but that is also back to that false grid of illusion and separation. That is not what I wish to speak of right now. You long to be in the company of your star families because you think and believe that they are more. Yes, I speak heresy, do I not? But you know, as Buddha, I am always plain spoken. You think that they hold the solution for many of the ills, both of Gaia and of humanity, and they hold the promise of a higher vibration and a new adventure. And all of this is truth, so I do not dismiss it. But what of your brothers and sisters of Earth? As Suzanne has mentioned, where is the desire to join in the fullness of creation with your brothers and sisters who have incarnated with you to accomplish this transition in ascension? Where is your faith, your trust, your love, your passion, your longing to join with them because this is your family. This is the group that you, not we, but you have chosen to travel with. Too often, what I observe is that the human collective is dismissed or not cherished as they deserve to be. And within that, my beloved friends, is the love and creation, the honoring that you deserve. So the more we honor and cherish ourselves and extend that out to the collective, that becomes like a mirror. So that's what we see. So it's just like this infinity of honoring and cherishing everyone to create that ascension that we are looking for. But he explains it even better. But again, it's just bringing the self into balance, remembering prudence, and divine alignment with all the chakras, opening the eyes, being the observer, knowing that temperance is the release of all addiction to pain, bringing it back to self always. And he says, but if your universe is nothing more than a series of mirrors, if you are not attaching to the love of your fellow humans and hybrids, and then releasing it, so that's all the clearing we're doing, so that they collectively and individually can become. If you're not holding that vision as observer, then who is holding it for you? There was not one being on Gaia, regardless of what miracles or acts of charity or commissions of atrocity and brutality, there is not one being that does not hold the desire to be created into fullness. So what we want to get to is seeing ourself in everyone. So the more we work on ourself, we want to see that reflected back to us. So we do it by extending love out and bringing ourselves into divine alignment, and then extending it out even more so that it becomes such a powerful wave that it affects the entire planet. But it's almost like, well, the Arcturians actually explain it really well. But here's the Buddha. He says, now there may be some misunderstanding about what that fullness is or can be, but that only comes with growth and with love. So as your teacher, I'm asking each of you this day to hold this vision as observer to the creation of humanity in the fullness of their potential, their ascension, and their remaining in physicality and the bringing forth of Nova Earth. I assist in this, and remember, it is attach, detach, reattach. It is the constant flow. It is the constant flow of your heart, and it is the constant flow of the universe. So, and he goes more into attach, detach, reattach. But basically, he says, like, when we're working with this law, it's like attaching to information gathering, then detaching from everything that's not of love, and reattaching to the highest vision. But he goes into that. So being the observer, the ability to bless everything really helps with this law. So now this is an amazing little channeling, and I don't know, I must have found it last year when we were doing this. But the Arcturians said one of the greatest secrets that you're not taught in schools or in religions is that if you want others to treat you in a certain way, then you must first treat yourselves the way that you want to be treated. You want to treat others the way you would love to be treated, but you also have to treat yourself the way you want others to treat you. The universe is a gigantic mirror, and it always reveals to you what's going on inside of you, rather than what you want the world to think or see. Whatever you want others to think or say about you, please think those thoughts and say those things to yourself. That's how we change everything. It's treating the self with incredible respect and honoring and cherishing. And then the reflection comes back to us through the people. Tell the universe and show the universe what you want to see reflected back to you from your fellow humans. You have so much more to give others when you first feel whole and complete in yourself. So I think that's that perfect relationship that the Buddha was talking about. This is something we would love to see being taught in your public school systems, but sadly, it is not even spoken about in the curriculum, and most of you have to wait until you are adults to realize what has been missing from your lives for decades. We are here to give you permission to give yourselves everything that you want and need from your fellow humans and let everyone else off the hook for now. Just trust that they will start to reflect to you that self-love that you will dedicate to yourselves, you will dedicate yourselves to from this point forward in your lives. So that self-love and self-worth, really anchoring it in and getting it, waking up in that every day, it begins to be reflected back to you. That's how it works. It doesn't work the other way around. Okay, so that's 45 minutes. Shall we send this? Yes, Leanne.
What does that last part mean? It says, we are here to give you permission to give yourselves everything that you want and need from your fellow humans and let everyone else off the hook. What's the part about letting everyone else off the hook?
I think that they're talking about being the observer, not.
Oh, so not judgment, no judgment. Yeah. Right.
Mhm.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Okay. It seems a bit confusing, this, but basically it's just us loving ourselves like so much that starts to be reflected back to us all the time. Yeah. So, and then, but then this was one of my questions too, though, was if it doesn't, then we master being the observer and sending that non-judgment. Yeah. Until the reflection changes, and then we'll know when we start seeing it reflected back to us. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this page up, and let's send love out for 10 minutes. Send these understandings out to the collective. How loved and cherished everyone is. Okay, so we'll see you all in 10 minutes. And don't forget to ground yourself to Gaia and connect to source, and then just send it out. Send it out. Okay. Okay. There we go. That's 10 minutes. It goes by so fast. Mhm. Okay. Any questions or comments about that? Any confusion? What did you think, Leanne? You haven't been here for a while.
No, it was good. It was good to be back. Yeah.
Good.
Mhm.
I did a little bit about Prudence because did you miss most of Prudence? Is that what happened?
I did. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
going to listen to the recordings when I get it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
It's very simple. It's just about really, yeah. Well, you'll see. Mhm.
No, and I thought it was good the way both you and Steve explained some of those things further in detail. So that was good. That was helpful.
Yes, Steve is a font of information.
Yes. Yes. Indeed.
Yes, he's been studying this for many, many, many years. I'm just a newbie.
I'm thrilled to see what you're doing, Kathleen. It's just the way you're coming along in teaching, and it's wonderful to watch.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like doing this part. One of my favorite things is like figuring out what are they saying exactly and trying to make it simple so we can understand it, because it's not meant to be tricky or, hard or anything. It's just meant to be simple, simple, simple. And it always comes back to love. Love yourself. Mhm. Yeah.
And with love is to be found in the middle. So yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's nice to see how they teach it. They each teach it. The Buddha's amazing. I love him. Thank you, Buddha. Okay, well, we'll be back on Friday with yeah, more understandings because it goes on. This is good. Like he explains more. Paula, did you have any questions or comments or anything?
No, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Okay, good. Okay, and Darren, you're doing okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. And Lillian and Ken, you guys are got through that?
Well, I really can't get to, I mean, I'm listening to what's going on, but
You gonna live?
I'm just going through cleansing right now. And
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm able to listen, but I'm not able to apply a lot of what's going on yet.
Yeah, no, don't worry. Just just breathe in the healing energy of the Buddha and Bernadette and the mother. And yeah, no, it's all just healing energy that's flowing your way.
Okay.
Yeah, just breathe it in. It's all good. All good. Okay, so we'll see Lillian, and you're okay, Lillian?
Yeah.
Oh, sweetie.
It's been a long couple of months, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think you're almost there.
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right. Okay. Well, we'll see everybody back on Friday. And yeah, we'll learn some more. More healing.
Happy Thanksgiving to Paula and Lillian and Ken.
Well,
Yeah.
thank
All
you.
right, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
happy
It's Turkey Day. Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank
Bye.
you. Good night.
Bye,
Okay.
guys.
yeah,
See ya.
good night.
Bye.
Good night.